What is going on, guys? We are here with one of the first Dragonflight specific videos that we will be making for this channel. As you guys do know, Dragonflight is coming out November 28th, 29th, or 30th, depending on the region you're in, but it is the 28th for North America, which is where I am. So we are actually under an entire week away from the launch. I'm recording this on Tuesday. You guys will probably be seeing this on Wednesday. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to go over what preparations I've done as a player for the Expac release, kind of the things I've looked into, kind of the things I've practiced and things like that, and just kind of tell you guys what I think is the best to know and how you guys can also prepare for the expansion release. I am on the beta, as you can see. So everything is as true as Dragonflight should be. Now, the very, very obvious first thing you need to do is pick the class you're going to play, pick the class you're going to level as. Now, Blizzard has stated that this is definitely going to be more of an alt-friendly expansion, so I don't think that you're going to be stuck on one character for the first 3-4 weeks of the expansion. I personally do believe that you're going to be able to play one or two characters you're going to be able to play 2 or 3 characters within the first week if you choose to do so, if you grind the game hard enough. So as a result, you should also, pick an alt. Pick an alt character, whether that's a DPS, a tank, something different. Always have an alt, always have a backup just in case, your class is not fun, or if you're a tryhard and your class gets nerfed or is really bad, you can always swap off. So that is the first obvious point to make. Pick a main and pick an alt. Even if you're not going to play the alt, make sure you pick an alt just so you have it on standby and you know what you're going to play in case you do make that decision. Now, obviously, you want to make sure you want to look up some guides. You want to make sure you have a leveling talent build. Now, none of that's truly that important, but having it is a good idea, right? As a Brewmaster player, the Touch of Death perks here is really good for leveling, so that's why I'm going to want to have it. Here's my Brewmaster setup for leveling if you guys are interested. I'm going to play Brewmaster as well. But anyway. Now, cleaning up your bags is the next big thing. It is the biggest thing you need to do every expansion launch, is to get some nice clean bags. As you can see here, I got some pretty decently clean bags here. Because the reason you're going to be picking up so much stuff if you go specific professions, which I'll get to a little later, you're going to need a lot more bag room and things like that. So having nice clean bags helps for leveling, because you can tell where all your buffs are, where your potions are, everything like that, which is always a good thing. Now, what do you need in your inventory while you're leveling? Now, there are some obvious ones like some food, some flasks, and some health pots. Those are pretty traditional for every single thing that you do in WoW, right? You need food, flask, and health pot. Now, I also suggest that you pick up some heavy desolate armor kits. I have 44 of them because I was raiding and I had them in my bag, but heavy desolate armor kits can't be used above 316 item of gear, but I'm already only wearing 311, so obviously my first upgrade I can't use it, but these might last a couple hours into the leveling experience, who knows. Obviously you're going to want to make sure that you have some Shadow Core oils. I always have these on hand as well. These just help you do a little bit more damage, speed up the leveling process. You're going to want some feasts. I got some feasts here. Obviously, the best ones are the best ones, right? Everything that you can have helps level you faster, which helps you get to the end game faster if you're really looking to rush through the expansion launch, at least. So make sure you have some feasts. Now, there are some people that I think they're called like bonefish, fried bonefish. They increase your speed when you kill an enemy. Those are also really good. I don't have any of those on me as of yet, but I'm probably going to buy some of those later on. But definitely pick some of those up if you are really looking to fast track your leveling experience. Health potions always good, just in case you overpull some mobs. You got a little bit of healing in there. Flasks, always another really good thing to have. Now, I don't think I'm going to do 29 hours of leveling, but These flasks will also last into being level 70 when I'm doing Mythic Zeros and Heroic Dungeons and everything like that. And so I'm not spending 1,000 gold on flasks in the first week. Invis pots are a must. Now, this is one of the biggest things that I've always learned from leveling, is that classes that can invis through caves and invis past mobs and everything like that generally can level at a faster pace and in an easier pace as well. You're rarely using like DPS pots, I find, and those are generally a waste of money if you're buying 50, 60 of them. So definitely buy some invis pots if you're class that can't go invisible. These will help you out a ton. You can just use them to skip one mob, right? You can use it to skip one mob so you can get out of a cave and mount up just a little faster, and you don't have to kill that mob, which could be 5-10 seconds. Now, drums are an interesting one because these drums do not work above level 60. So you gotta make sure you have some of them. Now, the leveling process is very fast. I think in about 20 minutes or so, you're going to be level 61. So these won't be very useful, but have them on hand just in case. You can use some drums to pull a big pack and kill a whole bunch of mobs. Those are always a good thing to have. I have my augment rune. If you have the infinite augment rune, this will be good. It goes to level 69, which is great. Basically the entire leveling process, you will have an augment rune on you, which is amazing. Gun shoes are a must as well. Speeding up your, going from pack to pack, going from quest mob to quest mob, from quest giver to quest giver. You can just go infinitely faster with gun shoes. If you don't know what gun shoes are, here, I'll use them here. Now, I didn't know these existed. They came out in Legion, but just look how fast I'm moving. And it's instant. It's just like that. Instantaneously, and you move super fast. Now, Blizzard did nerf these at the beginning of Shadowlands in the Moss, so I hope they don't do this again. But they might not. Alright, let's go here. Goblin Gliders, obviously have Goblin Gliders. Even in the 20-30 minutes of practice leveling that I did, I used 3, 4, 5 Goblin Gliders, so obviously have a ton of those on you. And last but not least, replace your legendaries now. They're useless. Unless you're doing current content right now, Mythic Plus or whatever, they are useless, right? Here are my legendaries right here. I am in the wrong zone. They only work in Shadowlands. So make sure you have gear to put in place. I've put a 311 belt on and some 304 bracers on, right? These are just stat stick items now, right? They're not that good. So it is good to replace them. And then, yeah, so that is the base of it. For inventory and everything like that, I'm just going to fly back up here. Now let's get into professions. As we know, Dragonflight is changing a ton about professions. They're trying to make them more and more important. But that doesn't change anything on how you do an expansion launch. What you're going to need on an expansion launch is simple. You're going to want herbalism, skinning, or mining. The reason for that is because you can make a ton of money. You can make so much money off herbalism, mining, and skinning right away, right? If you go out of your way to herb a plant, you're going to make like 1,000 gold off of that one plant. Not to mention that herbing and mining give you experience. I'm not too sure about skinning. I haven't actually used skinning. I always go herbing and mining. But they give you experience as well, so you're not losing out. They give you about 1,000 experience in my experience doing the Dragonflight first little bit, which is always a great thing. Alright, so now we have your character preparation basically done. Obviously have your best trinkets. If you have some gavels or some vein rippers, those might get deactivated, so make sure you have some new weapons in place just in case. Overall, we're looking pretty good. Now, I suggest, and if you have the Dragonflight beta, I suggest you do this as well. If you don't want story spoilers, obviously don't do it, but practice the first 30 minutes of the expansion launch. It's everyone's going to be in the exact same location, and it is going to be extremely hectic to play. If you know what you're going to be doing, then you're going to be flying clear, right? It's the people that don't know what the quests are that tend to back up the system, right? If you can get your quest, you know exactly where you're going, you know exactly what you're killing, and exactly when, you will be fine. You will get ahead of the pack, and you will be clear flying for the rest of the leveling process, unless servers go down or something like that. You get disconnected. So I suggest you definitely go do that. I've done it. I've done it about 4 or 5 times now, because I always do that. I did it with the Maw. I actually tried to speedrun the Maw as much as I could while practicing, because once you get out of the big pack, your leveling experience is so much better, but you don't ever want to be behind the big pack as well. You want to definitely always be ahead of the pack. One last tip is dragon riding. So about 30 minutes into the expansion, into leveling, you're going to get your first dragon riding mount and your first couple dragon riding quests. Now, dragon riding is very fun. I've been doing it. It's really good, but your dragon riding is really bad at first. But you can actually go and upgrade your dragon riding extremely fast. Now, there are a couple routes on the internet that you can go around and look for. I'll put the one that I'm going to be following down below. So basically, once you get your dragon riding, you can instantly go pick up these glyphs around the map, which gives you a talent point, basically. And then you can upgrade your dragon riding to be even better. And the reason you do this is because the people with the better dragon riding are going to make the expansion, their leveling process faster, and even their end game content faster. You're not going to be spending as much time grinding out your dragon riding skills when you could be grinding out heroic dungeons or mythic zeros. So I suggest you definitely go find your own guide on that, or you look at the one I'm putting in the description below and go test it out on the beta if you have it. If you don't, just take a look at it, take a gander, maybe watch a couple YouTube videos about it if you don't care about spoilers or anything like that, and you're good to go. Now, where to begin? Where does the expansion begin? It starts right here for the Horde. I think for the Alliance, I would almost assume for the Alliance, it is in the Stormwind Harbor, in one of these boat docks here. And what this means is, where you want to park your character the night before is on this tower or even in Orgrimmar. You want to be very close. You do not want to be in Oribos or anywhere where you're going to have to go through loading screens, because that's where people get tricked in an expansion launch, is they go through a loading screen and they're screwed. They get disconnected, they're back in the queue, they're back into whatever. So you want to make sure you're in this tower. Right here is the literal first quest. I log into the beta and I get the Call of the Isles quest. This is the very first quest that every single person is going to get. You're just going to accept it and you're just going to wait, and you wait for this boat here, and there's a nice little timer here. This is just the beginning of the expansion. So make sure you're in this tower or you are in Orgrimmar, one of the two, so you can get that quest in and get on this first boat as fast as possible. Yeah. Now, I don't think there's very much else that I need to discuss. Let me just think about it really quickly. Oh, professions. So obviously you need to get your Dragonflight professions when you need to train your Dragonflight professions. The first hub that you get to, every single profession person is there that you can talk to and get your Dragonflight level professions, which is really good. I highly suggest it. That's another reason I say to go on the beta, if you have the beta, to go take a look at it, because you're going to be able to find those profession vendors now rather than while everyone is in the zone, right? So definitely go do that now if you can. If you can't, look up on Wowhead, look up a guide or whatever, and you're going to, let's see if I can look at the Dragon Isles, Waking Shore. So you get in here, and it's just right here in the Wingrest Embassy. I believe this is the place. Yeah, it should be. And all of the profession people are just in this area here that you can level up. And obviously I suggest getting those as fast as possible. Now, so I've heard a lot from people as well that you need to complete the entire storyline, the entire campaign. That's obvious, but you also need to do some of the side quests. I don't know how many you need to do. I have not done the entire quest myself, the entire quest line myself, but I suggest getting as many side quests done as you can. It will level up you faster, and you might, get back into the pack a little bit, which would suck, obviously, but you want to make sure that you hit 70 basically right at the end of the campaign, so you're not wasting time questing while you're max level. And perfect timing. We got the big, massive boat that is going to come pick everyone up on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's pretty sick looking. But yeah, this is what the boat's going to look like, and you're just going to want to stand right here. Obviously, if you care about lore and stuff, you can follow all these people onto the boat and everything like that, but stand right here on this ledge right here. This is exactly where you're going to jumping off the boat from anyway. Goblin gliding off the boat or whatever you're going to do. But yeah, right here is where you want to be. So, be here. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions about Dragonflight Launch, what to expect, what not to expect, anything else that you think you should prepare for but you're unsure about, leave it down below in the comment section, and I'll try and respond to as many questions as I can. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share the video with a friend, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next Dragonflight video. Peace out.